What's up, guys? It's your boy Jamaica here, coming at you with another Penny Dreadful deck tech. This is my mill deck. We've been in the Discord chat. We've been talking a lot about how good is mill. How good can mill be? It's always that I would say like casual players' dream to mill someone out, and it's a lot harder in constructed formats. Although there are mill decks in modern, but in modern they have free spells, free mill spells that mill you for 13 every time you fetch a card, fetch a land. So that's not the case here. So I'm just gonna like talk about my process of making this deck because I actually have been working on this deck for I would say like almost like a week. Ever since we were talking about it, since the last time I stopped the last deck tech into this moment right here. I think I've been working about it for almost a week, and this is where I'm kind of at right now. So let's just get right into it. Lands, all islands, 24 to be exact. Um, and then we have our one drops here. There's no creatures. First of all, zero creatures. So the only way of killing someone is actually through milling. So any sort of elixir of immortality is really bad. Uh, going through our one drops. There's actually a ton of like mill cards that are supported. Yeah, before I start, I'm gonna talk about this. There's a lot of mill cards like Mind Sculpt, Memory Sluice, like things like that, where you think it's fast enough, but actually really isn't, and you just kind of die before you can kind of get there with just mill. So I've kind of taken a more controlish approach, and I took the best ones from the one drops, which to me are Tome Scour and Dream Twist. Tome Scour is 1 for 5. I think it's the best rate you can get. Dream Twist is it's not like one mana for 6. It's more like 3 mana for 6, but it's in one card, so it's not like terrible. Also, it's an instant, which will make sense later. Going to our twos, anticipate, eat some card draw, kind of like dig through our spells. Hitting land drops is really important in this deck. Actually, that's why I have so many lands. Actually, remove soul, just a anti creature measure here, and brain freeze, which is another pretty okay mill card. Like two mana for 3 isn't really that great, but because it has this little storm thing attached to it, you could do some kind of nuts card stuff on your opponent. It's also an instant, so on your opponent's turn, if they can't play a bunch of spells, you can just play this at the end of their step. They just mill a lot. You also have some other cards like Frantic Search, for example, which is really the only reason it's in the deck is because the filter to get a free spell and to filter your other spells, so you can get the brain freeze kind of combo esque finish to it. Also, like I said, with Dream Twist being an instant, you can just mill them a bunch at the end of their turn and then finish off with the brain freeze. So you can get like even a brain freeze like 4 is not that bad. So you get like 12 cards. That's let's say a person not playing battle. It starts with like a 7 card hand. They have 53 cards in their deck. Getting like a fourth of it with one card isn't that bad. Um, Pieces of the puzzle just kind of like dig for more all spells. We have all spells in the deck, so like I had compulsive research trials. I was like thinking to myself, wait a minute, I just want I just want the right spells. Dissolve, just another hard counter. Gotta counter the elixir of immortality. Whelming Wave is kind of a wrath, quote unquote. Um, I hope to not play the serpent deck, but yeah, this is just kind of need a reset button for the creatures. It will be dead in certain matchups like control decks or whatever, but it just kind of needs like bridges a gap a little bit. Traumatize is actually wasn't actually in the original build of mine, but when I realized I couldn't just do it, I couldn't build them really fast with like mind sculpts and things like that. I had to go this alternate plan. So really, how the games really shake out is that I'll try to control the board and not really start milling too aggressively unless I have nothing better to do. And then I want to hit him with a big traumatize because the traumatize will hit at least I would say like 25 ish cards for 5 mana, which is a really good rate. And then the rest you can just kind of finish off with a bunch of brain freezes once you've kind of like established a little control on the board. Hopefully, haven't drawn a lot of cards or anything like that. So yeah, that's why Traumatize is here. There are 3 of them at 4. Like you do want one at one point, but after you cast the first one, the second ones get infinitely worse because you go from like, let's say they have like, go back to the 53 card analogy. Let's say they draw a card every turn. By turn 5, let's say they have like 49 cards. So you've milled about like, is it rounded down? Yeah, like 24, 25 cards. Let's say you cast another Traumatize at that, you only get 12 cards. So that's not a really good rate. That's not what you're looking for. Treasure just kind of rounds up the draw spells. You kind of just like fill your graveyard real quick with these like cheap spells. So, you know, just a couple of Treasure Cruises, not too many. Udia sideboard, it's mostly geared towards aggressive decks, like Unsummon and Imprison in the Moon and Displace and Wave. The last deck I went was Heroic, and a lot of their good spells are 1s and 2s, so this is just like a really cheap, other sort of whelming wave. You can do it on 3 for 3 mana, you just like bounce all their stuff, and they've like kind of like put all their eggs in one mana basket. You just Displace and Wave, there you go. Talent Performance is for the control decks with very few creatures in their deck. You know, you kind of just like nug them. It's almost a better Traumatize. You can probably guilt their entire deck sometimes. Rushing River for like random permanents. A big permanent that'd probably be bad is one Elixir of Immortality, but it's hard to react to. But another one is something like Witchbane Orb or Orb's Warding. Anything gives them hexproof because you have to target them and stuff, so you kind of need this kind of effect. And Imprison the Moon, more for like bigger creatures. So it's kind of like big creatures with like high power and like low casting costs, like, you know, like Desecration Demon. That's like the first on top of my head. You know, just like big creatures real quick. Imprison the Moon's pretty good. And finally, negates for like again the control matchup where the remove souls is really bad. You just want to slide some negates. Just kind of catch all blue counterspell, really. Like I said, I've been working on this deck for a while. I don't know how good it is. It's probably like out of like the other decks at the end of seasons, one of the more fun decks. It is a lot of fun. It's fun to try to control the board. It's a mono blue control deck. That's what it really is. It's just a blue control deck that just happens to kill you by milling. Maybe I could like I had a lot of other cards in the deck. Like I said, I had I'll just type right here. Bastard Laquatus. Like, you know, this guy could probably be good in the deck. I had like Manic Scribes, and I had like a bunch of creatures that kind of like did some milling, but it just didn't fast enough. I think the way to really kill people is like Traumatize into Brain Freeze. So that's the route I'm going. We're gonna try out some games and let's see how far we get.